It's not your favorite. It's probably no one else's favorite, but it's my favorite. And it's the book that started it all for me. Today, we're going to talk about it. Welcome back, my people, to another episode of Bone Claws Comics. I'm Jacob, and today we're talking about my favorite comic book. It's very obscure, not a key, not an important issue. It's what got me started with comic books when I was a kid. But first, let's talk about today's shirt. Favorite book, favorite shirt, Logan's Barbershop. Gift from my wife. Absolutely love it. It's my favorite. It's sweet. All right. So, without further ado, my favorite book. Wolverine, issue 77 from volume 2. Not a key, not an important book. Beautiful cover. I love the cover. And the panel on the inside is it's my favorite panel in all of comics. It's just beautiful. And we'll look at that a little bit later. I picked this up at a Heroes Con a couple years ago, the 9.8 CGC. I have it just to have it. You know, the value's not there. It's never going to be there. I can't imagine there's any kind of boost that this comic's ever going to get. Nothing important happens. Nothing major happens. It's just... This was one of my very first comic books when I was a kid. I remember I found it in a dollar store. It was with a bundle. I believe it was this one and a Marvel's comic. Beautiful work, beautiful comic. But this book captured me. It hooked me, I guess you would say. I read it over and over again, not knowing anything about the previous story or what came next, just this one issue. And of course I have a reader's copy that I don't have put up, but I don't know what happened to the original issue I bought, but I mean, a lot of times when I go to cons or shows or dig through bins and I'll find it, I might pick it up just to have it, because it means something to me. Like I said, nothing major happens, nothing big. It's just a random issue that was my first comic, and that stood out to me. And it's the reason why Wolverine is my favorite character. And he might be like, oh, Wolverine, mainstream, duh. He's so popular. Well, he is. And, that's okay. That's okay. He may not be... I wouldn't say he's not deep, because he is very deep. He's very mainstream. He's probably one of the easily top 5 comic book characters as far as popularity goes. And, he's mine. The art was by Adam Kubert, who... Well, in the 90s, is probably the best artist. I mean, really, some of the art in this book is just amazing. Amazing. I mean, look at... This is it, right here. My favorite panel in all of comics, right there. It's the same as the cover, but it has the black, and it's the shadows, and the light. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. If I could get an original art of this panel right here, I don't know what I'd pay for it, but my gosh, that would be my grail if I could get that original art. But I mean, really, just the details, and back when stuff was drawn in like pencil and not digital. I mean, just look at the details and the wrappings in his hand and the blood. It's gorgeous. They don't make comics like this anymore. And this is one of the biggest arguments that people make with modern comics, is the art is not the same. And it's not. This is not the 90s anymore. As much as a lot of us want it to be, it's not the 90s anymore. Art styles have changed. Technology has changed. The way comic books are made, drawn, and created has changed. I mean, I would be very, very surprised if modern comic artists actually do sketches. It's not like this anymore. And that is a shame. But Funny story, I was on an auction site one time, and they had this book in a 9.9. It is the single highest grade for this book, the CGC 9.9. There's only one of them, and it was up for auction. And I was bidding on it, and I want to say the bidding got up to like $200. And I'm the highest bidder. I got like $250 on this book, right? And nothing changed up until the very end, like the last second. It finished out, and I'm like, oh man, I just got this book. The highest grade is mine. And then I check my cart, and it's not there. I go back to the sales, and in the last second, the bid had jumped from 200 to 2,000 in the last second. And I was like, whoa, like I would have never imagined that. But now I guess I kind of know better. People pay out, the wazoo for single highest grades. But it would have been nice to own the one single highest grade of this random obscure book that just happens to be my favorite. But somebody out there snagged it. If it ever goes back up for auction, I'll know what I'm dealing with. But I'm happy with what I have. I'm not huge on slabs. I like slabs. I like how they present. It's a nice case. It's easy to display. Everybody loves, 9.8s or whatever, but I like to have it. I'm always going to have a reader's copy because I always want to read this book. I always want to look at the inside. Some people online have made, comparisons like if a book is encased, what good is it? It's just a front cover picture, and that's all you ever get of it. You don't get to enjoy the actual book, and that's 100% true. It's 100% true. You'll never be able to flip through the pages, look at all this beautiful artwork. You'll never see it again because it's encapsulated unless you crack open the slab. And people do that, and that's fine. No judgment whatsoever. But, the collector in me wants the slab, but it also wants the raw. So, yeah, that's it. It's my childhood in one book right there. And for the longest, this was the only Wolverine book that I ever owned. For the longest, and I mean years, this was the only Wolverine book that I owned. I had some X-Men, had some Batman, but for some reason, this book stood out to me, and it's what hooked me. And it's been my favorite ever since. So, yeah, that's the book that started it all for me. And now my collection's, quite a bit. Maybe we'll go over that in the next video. My collection, what I have on the shelf. You may be curious. We'll go into detail. But in the meantime, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you know this book? Do you like this book? What's your favorite? Who's your favorite? I'd love to hear about it. I look forward to talking with you soon. And I was bidding on it, and I want to say the bidding got up to like $200 in the last 5 minutes. And without further ado, here is my... Damn, it's good. Check it. Break the damn thing. Okay, we're good.